Welcome back. I'm John McFarland. Forecasting future real estate prices is about identifying past patterns, understanding the current market, trying to anticipate the unforeseeable, and projecting all of that information into the future. It's more of an art than a science. Let's get started. Let's begin with a quick review of our Part 1 video on Folly's past property values. In the last few years, the price of real estate has been influenced by multiple factors, from housing shortages and low interest rates to a worldwide pandemic and high inflation. As a result, property values are unusually high nationwide. In the near term, property values are expected to decline. It does not matter if the referendum passes or fails. The odds are Folly Beach property values will decline for the next few years. The downward pressure on real estate prices nationwide and on Folly has nothing to do with short-term rentals. The dominant influence on home prices for the next few years will be completely due to the actions of the Federal Reserve. The Fed began raising interest rates in the spring of 2022 to slow the economy and lower inflation. The Fed has more than doubled interest rates in less than a year. The Fed's strategy of increasing interest rates to quell inflation will continue for some time. As a consequence of the Fed's actions, millions and millions of hopeful home buyers have withdrawn from the market. Currently, new home loan rates are over double what they were just 9 months ago and are expected to rise even more. Most potential home buyers are being forced to wait until rates fall to a more reasonable level before re-entering the market. This reset will accomplish exactly what the Federal Reserve wishes to achieve. In theory, the price of most goods and services will decrease, including Folly Beach property values. However, this situation is not a repeat of the 2007 housing bubble. There are still lots of individuals with cash, and many people simply cannot put off a home purchase. They must relocate as soon as possible. There will still be buyers, just not as many. Some forecasters predict that in the Southeast U.S., property values will fare better than in most of the country. And Folly Beach, with its fantastic location, may escape the downturn completely. The bottom line for near-term property values on Folly is as follows. The Feds will likely keep interest rates high for the next few years. Prices of most goods and services will likely fall, including housing. There is a distinct possibility that over the next couple of years, Folly's property values, along with most properties all over the country, will drop 10 to 20%. Folly's long-term real estate values are a different story. Barring any unforeseen circumstances, once the Fed lowers interest rates, mortgage rates will also be lowered. Pent-up housing demand will take over, and home prices should begin their upward climb. For the past 2 decades, the price of a home on Folly Beach lagged behind an identical home located on Isle of Palms, Sullivan's Island, Kiawah, or Seabrook. But the size of the gap has remained the same. This historical pattern is likely to continue. That's a good thing. It's a predictable pattern representing rising property values. Your home may be your largest investment, but it's not the same as a stock or a bond. If you remain on Folly for 3 or more years, you can expect a nice increase over today's value, but only if the number of investment STRs is capped. What family or retiree would want to buy into a community with a declining population and a growing number of investment STRs? Will property values rise or fall in the long term? Claims about property values falling in the long term if the referendum passes is simply conjecture. Where are the facts to support such a claim? That information could just as well have come from a fortune cookie. To tell residents the value of their property will decline if they vote yes is a scare tactic, nothing more. No one can say for sure, but the best comparison to Folly's property value situation is Sullivan's Island. Sullivan's Island has no STRs, and their property values have shot through the roof in the last few years. If we stop the growth of investment STRs, the odds are property values on Folly will mirror the Sullivan's Island example. And as soon as the Fed lowers interest rates, property values will begin to increase. I would not be surprised to learn that the information being circulated about falling property values is simply fabricated or created by a group that supports the unlimited growth of ISTRs. Where did all that misleading information come from? A fortune teller? From tarot cards? From a palm reader? From the spirit world? From a crystal ball? Oh my, it was a fortune cookie. Thanks for watching.